talk to you just a little bit today about leadership. Andy Stanley once said, authority does not equal competency. And one of our focuses here in Workforce Solutions is to try to bridge that gap between having authority in your position and having as much competency as possible and bridging that too. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about 3 particular classes that we have coming up. The first class is called Effective Communication Skills, and we're offering that on January 21st from 8:30 until 12:30. You know, as I think back years ago to my first real job, one of the things that we were trying to do was cut costs. And so an idea was thrown out that we really should limit the number of hours that we were on the phone making long distance phone calls, because at the time, long distance phone calls were very expensive. And at the same time, you had people within the company talking about how there was a lack of communication. And if we could only have more communication, it would be better. So fast forward to today. Today, the average person speaks over 15,000 words. And we almost over-communicate. We have so much communication, email, phone, voice. It's really easy to make a long-distance phone call now. What's long distance anyway these days? And so what this class hopes to do is bridge the gap, because we know that it is not about the quantity of communication, it is about the quality of communication. And so what we are trying to do is bridge the gap between quality and quantity and make those come together in a perfect medium so that you know better how to communicate with people who work for you, people who work beside you, and people that you work for. The second class I want to talk to you about today is called Learning to Lead from Buddy to Boss. That class is being held on January 28th from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. You know, when you think about it, even if you were someone's buddy 20 years ago or 20 days ago and you just became their boss, a lot of things changed during that transition. It's really interesting when you look back at why people are typically promoted. Typically people are promoted because of their technical ability, because they did the job really, really well. And most of the time, companies are doing a great job of training people how to do those technical things very, very well. But you know what? What we don't sometimes do a great job of is training people how to be great as leaders. And so what this particular class is going to do is it's going to help people who used to be someone's buddy or think that they may in the future be someone's buddy to being someone's boss. You know, there are real life struggles that happen during that. You may be managing people who wanted the same job that you got. That may be tough. And so we're going to talk about how do you transition those kind of muddy waters? How do you help people really be the best performers that they can be in spite of the fact that maybe they really wanted the job that you got? So that's the second class. The third class that I wanted to talk to you about is called My Leadership Style. My Leadership Style. What we know is that sometimes there is a gap between what we do as a leader and how we lead people and how we really should lead people. Sometimes if you haven't ever had some type of formal leadership training, or if you haven't had a great coach in your life, or if you just weren't technically born being a phenomenal leader, which most people aren't, how are you going to be a great leader? How are you going to fine-tune your own leadership style? So on February 5th from 9 to 12, that's what we're going to talk about. So those are the 3 classes I wanted to tell you about today. All of those classes do something similar in terms of they help with what Andy Stanley originally said. Authority does not always equal competency. They help you become a better leader tomorrow than you were today. And that's our goal.